welcome to my channel, Sharon from Creating the Mind Space. I have been relaxing making spirit dolls. Now I originally made this one, which you can see on my Facebook page, Creating the Mind Space. However, I went ahead and created 4 very different looking spirit dolls, and considering they've all come from me, they all look very, very different. And you know, what is a spirit doll? So a spirit doll is an ancient creation. At one time it was classed as a familiar, beloved by many cultures around the world, and spirit dolls were used really to engage in the heart of healing and enchantment, really. So let's go. Oh, that one's come off the hair. I'll show you that. I'll show you them all one by one. So when I made this is obviously my energy and creativity in here. So I have sort of woven into this my love, and as a spiritual healer, I've woven in my healing energies as well. So I'm also a very sort of Mother Earth protective type figure. So within here too is that protection of love, healing, and the natural beauty of the world, the magical enchantment of the natural world. So here she is. I have called her Poppet, but not because she is a poppet as is known within Wicca, what have you. She's just called Poppet because Poppet was is a term in Lancashire that's like a term of endearment. So my dad always used to call me Poppet when I was a little girl. So here she is anyway. There's the front. She's a vintage doll, so she opens and closes her eyes. She didn't have any arms, so I've used what Mother Nature's given us, a twig. These are not real skulls and bones. They're made from that air drying, like a resin type. And then here are some other things that I've made. I like to mess and play with vintage jewellery. A little tiny key, and that goes round the back, and she's got some little wings on the back. I love using threads in my crafts, so I've put some threads on the back of the head there. So that's one, and all 4 of these are going into my Etsy shop, so I'll put links below. She's got layers of sari silk and natural silk thread that I've wound around the arms and the legs. And then all these dangly bits, apart from little skulls heads there, these are all vintage charms, and I made that from a rusty bottle cap. So that is Poppet. Oh, let's see how tall she is. She's approximately 6.5 inches tall. So to me, these are ancestral crafts, these making of dolls. So the crafts that we bring, that are being brought back, crafts that our great-grandmothers would have done. And so, you know, a doll inherited that's handmade from great-grandmothers, great-aunts and family members, I think are a great hand-me-down because you've got some of that craft woven into it and the blessings of your ancestors. So these dolls are all filled with passion, blessing. I'm passionate about embracing and honouring my ancestors and their handicrafts, especially those of my grandmothers. I'm very big believer in the divine feminine. And, you know, a lot of crafts are being forgotten and misunderstood. So here is doll number 2. Now this, apart from this, everything here I've got, oh, and the fabric, everything else is from the beach. Even the string I got on the beach, everything was from the beach. So I made this again out of some air drying resin, and I've just stained it to look like bone. So there's feathers off the beach. There's this really unusual, can you see, really unusual stone? I do like the pattern in that, whether it's fossilised, I don't know. A shell off the beach, a bottle cap off the beach. These shell dangles, obviously, off the beach. Her arms are 2 razor shells, and then I've put the limpet shells in between. And there's the back. Sorry, I didn't find this on the beach either, but I like that. And I thought the beach that I've got this from is actually in the northeast of England. So it's like, well, it is. It's where the first Viking invaders landed in this country. When they came, 900 AD. I think it was around then they first came to us. So those just reminded me of the Viking ancestry and of that area. This was even on the beach. This rusted filigree. So all that is from the same beach. Like I say, it's one in the northeast. There you can see that's a piece of driftwood underneath there. I think it's beautiful, this. And I feel as well, because it is from our Viking ancestors, those are the beaches they would have landed. Who knows, they might have even, you know, stood on this pebble. That this is quite a magical talisman, really, for what the Vikings stood for. So the height there from head to base is about 6 inches, with the feathers make it almost sort of 8.5 inches. That's those two. That one hasn't got a name yet. Maybe I should call her after one of the Norse gods. Anyway, there she is. So she's full of love, protection. She's full of bravery and strength as well, from this Viking ancestry. The next one, I love this little one. This again is another piece of driftwood, you can see there, and I've used the natural holes in the driftwood to hang these charms and things. This little key is actually from the northeast as well, from Tynemouth Market, and the arms are made of wood that I found on the beach. She's wrapped in sari silk, lots and lots of layers of sari silks. Her face, I didn't make a face, I bought that. That is a resin face, but isn't it a pretty face? And I popped it on this piece of jewellery, which was a flower. And there you can see the beechwood behind. You can see the hole better there. And again, I've used the natural holes to hang some charms from. This charm has come detached, so I'm just going to reattach that. And that has got a bottle cap on, it's got a rusted thimble and some vintage bees and another key. This one I haven't got a name for. I'm going to have to think of a name for this one. So that's the third one. She's only small. She's actually just 5.5. Again, filled with love, protection, healing. So spirit dolls are frequently used for display rather than to play with, and they symbolise or embody an archetype, idea, activity, perhaps a spiritual moment. And that's with this one. This one reminds me of the Vikings coming to Great Britain back in the 900s, especially, you know, like I said, with it being off the Viking beach. And again, when these dolls were originally made, they were made from bundles of sticks. They were used fabric, clay, whatever you've got really you can use as well. They can be hung on the wall. They could be framed as a piece of art. They could be put in a shadow boxes. So like I said, they are generally for display purposes, something you can tuck away in your home too. So, you know, it's in the past it's been wondered whether these things are actually dolls, playthings, or collectible treasures. I mean, it depends, I suppose, which way you want to look at that. I think, to me, look, they are pieces of art. Although they represent healing, they represent protection, they represent that great Viking brave and yeah, vulnerability as well. So they do represent different emotions. These are definitely not playthings. These are things to be valued, to be displayed, to be tucked away in your drawer if you want to feel the comfort of that Viking protection within your bedroom, or healing protection from one of these other dolls. So this one is a long piece of driftwood for the arms. It's a what's the word? Vintage doll's head, which I have put these feathers in, and I think they look fab at the back. So it's all wrapped in sari silk, and then it's got these dangles and things, mainly made from vintage beads that I've made, vintage beads and trinkets hanging off the doll. The only bit that isn't vintage is if you see one of these skull beads on it. The rest are vintage beads. So there she is. She is tall. So she is 9 inches. And if you add the feathers on, you're adding another 4. So she's about 13 inches if you add the feathers as well. I hope you like them. I'll put the links below for them to my Etsy shop. I will just fix that one with immediate effect. And yeah, hope come along and have a look at my Etsy shop anyway. See some of the other things in there that I've created, or things that I've got for sale that's from local folklore and Lancashire folklore. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.